This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FY Investment Group and your host of Washington Current Review, where we interview leading voices from business, politics that impact you, the viewer. Today, our guest is Navin Kumar. Navin,
very nice to meet you, Uncle.
Thank you very much for coming here. You have quite a medical history in terms of your, you have a Parkinson's disease. Tell us a little bit about that and share with your audience your story.
Yes, namaste everyone. My name is Navin Kumar. It's an honor for me to be here. I was born 43 years ago with a congenital heart condition that has required 5 major open heart surgeries throughout my life. I was not supposed to have survived my childbirth based on the congenital heart condition I was born with, but with a lot of love, a lot of prayer, I defied the odds and survived. And then each open heart surgery, to be told by my surgeons and doctors, telling them to my parents that more than likely I would not survive. It was a surreal experience. They all taught me every heart surgery and the Parkinson's diagnosis. Everything has been like prasadam to me in the sense that it has been a blessing.
Good. So you have the strength and courage to fight against the disease that you inherited, and there's nothing you can do about it. You've been dealt a card, you got to figure out how to play your card. So, as I understand, you're into table tennis.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that. So you have you got something over here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it. You're quite good at it.
Thank you. I represent the United States as a USA athlete. I compete internationally for the USA as part of the U.S. Paralympic program. The Paralympics and Olympics are all affiliated together. As you can see, my hands shake because of the Parkinson's, but you put this beautiful ping pong paddle in my hand, you see it goes away.
Wow, it does go away. So what are some of your table tennis accomplishments?
I have won various events in my childhood. I started at the age of 4. My father had the hindsight to know that with my heart condition, I would be restricted in a lot of physical activities early on. So table tennis was one of those sports where it transcends gender, age, physical handicap. Everyone can play. But the shocking thing was that I never expected the table tennis to actually improve my Parkinson's and heart conditions.
So how does it really improve your Parkinson's disease?
So with Parkinson's, it's characterized by a resting tremor, meaning that when I keep my hand still, they shake. But the moment I move my hand, you can see it goes away. And again, any sort of movement will actually stop the tremors. Good. But it also helps with the muscle stiffness. It's helped with my coordination and my reflexes. I'm playing against the Chinese who are blasting that ball at me over 100 miles per hour. My reflexes are lightning quick at the age of 43. It has been a blessing just to play this game. And
so obviously you got what you got, right? And I'll get back to your motivational speaker. The way you express yourself, you obviously are. What do you do all day? I know you play tennis, you play some instrument. We're going to get to your instrument in a minute.
Yes, sir.
What do you do beside that?
I work for the federal government.
You work for the federal government. Where?
At the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services as an IT specialist.
Wonderful. So so the health HHS.
HHS.
Downtown Washington D.C.
No, in Rockville, Maryland.
Oh, very good. So close to the FDA building.
Exactly.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. A friend of mine used to be the secretary, Sylvia Brumwell. She's no longer there. She was under the Obama administrations. So all these things that you have, obviously your Parkinson's disease and the table tennis, and then you play some instrument, and you also a motivational speaker.
Yes, sir.
So how do you motivate the audience? From your story, from your journey, from who you are?
That's a part of it. Of course, in order to bring awareness to Parkinson's and congenital heart conditions, there is some self-promotion in the sense that I have to share my story, but I go beyond that. It's not so much about me, but it's more about how can I help my audience to improve. Hear my story, but then take it to the next level and realize that I consider myself nobody. But we all, as a human species, have the capability to improve our condition, to realize that with a positive spirit, you can make the impossible possible.
Can-do attitude. You got what you got. Yes. There's nothing you can do about it. Yes, but you can shape a better future and better tomorrow if you have the vision, the commitment to do that, correct?
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
That's what you do for motivations. So where do you go out and speak?
I have spoken at various, for corporations, for business companies. I spoke to a pharmaceutical company in New York at a Parkinson's a meeting there, and I spoke in New Orleans recently for Parkinson's doctors and patients. I actually leave tomorrow for Denver.
Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
I went to school in Boulder, Colorado. It's breathtaking.
Small world. I used to live in Colorado myself.
Where?
Inglewood, Colorado.
Oh, I know exactly where you are. It's not too far from Denver.
Small world.
Yeah. So, so tell me a little bit about that. You just said about the table tennis.
Yes, sir.
And you said you have gone to a lot of places in the United States as well around the world. Tell us a little bit about that. And how do you represent our country?
I represent our country as a U.S. Paralympic athlete, travel worldwide in the hopes that I will hopefully be able to compete in 2020 in Tokyo. I have
2020
traveled
in Tokyo.
That's the next site of the Olympic Games and Paralympic Games. So I have traveled.
That's what you intend to do.
Exactly. And I've traveled to Barcelona 2 years ago, Romania last year. I leave for Germany in 9 days.
In Germany?
Yes, sir.
So you're going to be in Denver, then you're going to be in Germany. What part of Germany?
I'll be in Beirut, which is near the Czech Republic.
Yes, I know
Nuremberg.
exactly where you are. So you're a table tennis player, you're a motivational speaker, you got to challenge it, you can convert the challenges into opportunity. You're also, as I understand, into music. And you got something over here. Share with us. Navin,
sir.
I think this will be wonderful. What is that anyway?
This
and
is
how do you play?
Well,
and does it keeps you motivated and relax you?
Absolutely.
All of the above.
This has actually helped my Parkinson's, believe it or not, playing this violin for the last 34 years. I started off playing Western American classical music, but whatever I hear now, I've developed a sense of hearing. Whatever I hear on the radio, I can hear it and play it. So that's how I learned Indian music. So a couple of my favorite songs, I'll just give you a very short piece.
Go ahead.
Kehna Kya from Bombay, and then I'm actually a singer. So I would sing a short piece from Kabhi Kabhi.
Kabhi Kabhi?
Yes, sir.
That's the movie 1976.
Correct.
And the fellow who wrote that music was Sahir Ludhiani. He was the one who wrote it, Kabhi Kabhi.
Oh, wonderful.
And I believe it was Amitabh Bachchan and also Rakhi. Am I correct?
I believe so. Yeah, that sounds right.
I do not know much about Indian movie, but I think this is a wonderful, wonderful composer who wrote that.
Oh, wonderful.
Sahil Ludhiani. He was from Ludhiana. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है कि जैसे बजती है शहनाइयाज़ी रहो में सुहागराट है घूंघट उठा रहा हूँ मैं सिमट रही है तू शर्मा के अपनी बाहों में सिमट रही है तू शर्मा के अपनी बाहों में कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है.
So Navin, who recorded that? This is the movie called Kabhi Kabhi.
Yes, sir.
As I believe is recorded by Mukesh as well as Lata Mangeshkar.
Oh.
And it was written by Sahir Ludhiani, who came from Pakistan and stayed in Mumbai and died a long time ago. And the fellow who was the lyrics is still alive, and I just cannot remember his name. And it's one of the most beautiful songs of our lifetime. And I don't know much about it, and obviously I loved it before 1976 India, but this is a beautiful song.
Well,
so how did you get into Kabhi Kabhi? What about the rest of the stuff?
Well, see, the funny thing is, I don't speak Hindi. My family we're from the southern part, so I can understand our dialect of Tamil, which is mixture with Kannada.
So your family is from Kerala?
From Bangalore, from Karnataka. But I took a Hindi class in college, and I'm honored to say my Hindi teacher taught me my very first Hindi, which I'll do my best Amitabh Bachchan impersonation. Ye santare, bahut meethe hai. These oranges are very sweet.
Very nice. This guy, you're going to be a movie star. You should go to Bombay or Mumbai, whatever they call them. So tell me a little bit about your family. Do you have a family, and you want to promote and broadcast the message to the wider audience, including Indian Americans? And what story do you want to tell these people in the audience, Indian Americans all over the world?
I have.
And you have a family.
I do have a family. I have two lovely daughters.
You have two lovely daughters?
Yeah, ages 12 and 7. They are my greatest teachers in life. The days that I held them when I was born, my life evolved to a new reality. And the message that I just want to portray to people, see, the Indian American community, and actually the worldwide Indian community, most of them probably have not heard of me. I was actually featured in the Times of India newspaper about 2 years ago in the Bangalore edition. I had made the front page, and then Mumbai edition, I was in the sports section. But my mission in life is to inspire people and show people that it's the difficult times in life, how we choose to see things, that shape and define us. This disability, we all have these stereotypes where, especially growing up in our culture, that, if disabilities, we might potentially they could be looked down upon by society. And I'm trying to show people that a disability is not truly a disability, Uncle. A disability can actually be your greatest source of strength.
Sure, why not? So, as I understand, you have also been profiled in some kind of television in the United States. Is that a CBS or somewhere? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, sir. I was interviewed 2 years ago by NBC.
NBC?
And recently by ABC as well.
ABC, okay.
And now, of course, I have the privilege of being here, and I just want to say a special thanks to
How did they know about you in the NBC and ABC, and how did they know about your story?
A lot of it actually started
was it local TV stations? And was it,
the local TV stations.
They had Channel 4.
Channel 4 and then
Channel 7, correct.
And they had heard about me. I guess I had been featured various places like the Washington Post.
Sure.
A few places. And one thing led to another, and it was just an opportunity to just really help people and reach a broader audience. It's been amazing. Like I go to the grocery store, I'll have people just come up to me and say, "Oh my God, you're the Bionic." I'm nicknamed the Bionic Man in the table tennis community. So hey, I saw the Bionic Man. I saw you on the TV and everything, and it's a privilege.
So what was the television series that not the series, but the interview that you had with ABC? Mm-hmm. Who interviewed you, and what was the morale of the whole story was?
It was actually part of the Rising Stars segment. They had interviewed me, and basically it's a show within ABC that profiles athletes with inspirational stories and what we can do in terms of conveying a message to help the general public.
As I understand, you alluded to that about a minute ago, that you have a connection with our lovely person that we all be inspired by her story, Mrs. Mehra, and her whole family.
Yes.
Not only her husband is a doctor, the whole family is a doctor, which is a pretty darn good, So you have a connection with them. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. I actually grew up watching Neelamanti and her lovely family here on MHZ, and it's amazing to actually be here and actually see all this. It's truly a blessing. I had met Neelamanti at a wedding, her and her husband, mutual friend, years back. I had met Mandara, her daughter, actually.
Who's a doctor.
Who's a doctor now. At the Mr. India competition, I had competed back in 2000. The funny thing about that was I had Mandara and another girl had escorted me on stage. And believe it or not, both of those people, Mandara and this other girl, share the same birthday with me. What are the odds of that? I'm a kind of a magnet for
not the year, but the date.
Exactly.
day.
Just
Yeah.
weird coincidences. Like,
Yeah, it is.
Uncle here and myself, we both of course, come from Colorado, and both were computer science majors.
Yes, I was a
school.
computer science major before you were born, I think. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not.
No.
So tell me a little bit about what kind of a message do you have for the newer, younger generations in the audience, who you are, where you came from, where you're going?
The message I have, I know that India and the world, of course, we're all getting more and more westernized, but I really encourage folks to strive for that balance. I've faced so many stereotypes my whole life, being called ABCD, American born confused they say, and I want to just tell people that there's no confusion. There's no C, it's only ABD, American born they see. But even then, I applaud my parents for instilling the good values of both our Indian culture and our American culture. I'm equally comfortable being, going to the movies as I am sitting in a Satyanarayana puja, listening to the
What's the
shlokas.
puja, the worship in a temple?
Yeah, correct. The ceremony we do at the temple, we listen to the scriptures, the shlokas, and at the end the priest gives prasadam, which is the little thing, the
like a gift.
Ex-
Well, it's the sweetest stuff they give it to
Exactly,
you, right?
and-
Which is what you get in Catholic Church, which is different a little bit.
Yeah, but that's actually, I'm glad we're talking about this, because I consider all my medical issues very similar to prasadam, in the sense, with prasadam it can taste fantastic, and sometimes it can taste terrible. But whether it tastes good or bad, you have to remember that it's still prasadam, and you accept it with open hands. I do kankotyo to my eyes, I touch my eyes, and I say thank you. Likewise, life is going to give us the good, it's going to give us the bad, but it's up to us to be able to see the best in everything and realize that it's just a joy and a privilege to be alive. That's the message I want to convey to our friends here, that, take that step back. When you feel like life is getting you down, take a step back and just realize that what's really bad might not be as bad as you think. See the good within the bad and realize that there is always hope. I say that to you all. I say that to the Parkinson's community, the congenital heart community. I say it to everybody worldwide now, that there is always hope. That's the beauty of our species. We have that ability to adapt. We have the ability to transcend all that. It starts with us saying, I can and I will.
So, that's a great message. What in Indian culture, you mentioned you go into the temples and so on and so forth, and you worship. What do you like about the Indian culture that you really think can also help the Americans to not necessarily adopt that culture, but to understand that culture?
The sense of family.
The sense of family, the family togetherness.
Yes, but
and education.
Correct, but it goes beyond just our immediate families. There's a saying in Sanskrit.
Sanskrit. Do you know Sanskrit also?
Some from my father. My father's a scholar.
looks like you got a good parents.
My younger brother is a scholar as well. So
where does he go to school?
He's a consultant with Booz Allen and Hamilton.
Oh,
but
sure.
He travels around the area giving philosophical discourses in all the faiths. But the point here is that we have a saying in Sanskrit, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. All of humanity is one family. So while we show respect to our immediate family, we need to realize that all of humanity is one family. And you hear in the stories, all these things about, in India and worldwide, not just India, but women getting assaulted and all these bad things. Enough to lift this table, but you put your whole hand together, you can accomplish so much more.
You can accomplish and you can build your future.
Absolutely.
So my other question to you is, if I interview you 10 years from now, what are the message for the audience you will have? that I have made it
10 years
despite
from now,
the challenges that I have faced in my life?
10 years from now, you're going to see me still smiling.
Still
I'll be
smiling.
playing table tennis with all these youngsters, still representing our country as hopefully as an Olympic level athlete, and not stopping from loving life. You know, it's such a joy to be alive, and that's what I want to show everyone.
That it is a wonderful to be alive. It is a wonderful to live in the United States of America, a country that's a strong, that's a fair, that's a just and tolerant and inclusive. Obviously, it's a stake right now because we are under attack, right?
Absolutely, sir.
So, thank you very much for coming here. I appreciated your time and appreciated your spirit, and I also appreciate your leadership, and also I appreciate the fact that that you have a story to tell to the audience in terms of, beside your handicap that you have gone through in your life, you still look at the brighter horizon when you endure storm.
Absolutely, Uncle.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Namaste.
This is Frank Islam, wishing you a great week. Thank you for watching.